you're seeing here is the start of Warrior TV's annual one-day broadcast. When Warrior TV produces a feature edition of Warrior TV News, that process typically takes 2 weeks of production time. At the end of a student's third year in our program, we put them through the rigorous test of trying to plan, produce, and publish a feature edition of Warrior TV News all in one day. And in fact, not just in one day, but in a period of about 4 hours. Take a look at how this process worked this year.
Thank you.
And we're off.
I'm Mrs. Brock.
And I'm Mrs. Wagner.
And this is Warrior TV News.
Good afternoon, Warriors. I'm Sam.
And I'm Amir, and this is your one-day broadcast edition of Warrior TV News.
On today's one-day broadcast, Warrior TV gets a closer look at the upcoming AP Art course.
We learn more about the student teaching here at WCHS.
See how Peer and Relay for Life are working together.
And we learn more about AP exams that are coming up.
And finally, we learn about the new recycling initiative happening here at WCHS.
All this and more on today's one-day broadcast edition of Warrior TV News. AP Art is a class that will be offered here at WCHS next year. Ryan Hahn and Sam Bowen go in to paint us a picture of what all will be going on.
We are offering 2 AP Art classes next year, and that is an advanced placement class for 2-dimensional art and 3-dimensional art. So 2-dimensional is going to be drawing and painting, and then 3-dimensional you'll do more with sculpture, ceramics, that kind of thing. And we're hoping to do this to give students who are really interested in developing their artwork a chance to take it to a really high level, and potentially get some college credit. We've thought about it for several years. There are a lot of other schools in the area that have AP art classes, and there was some training involved, so Ms. Pope and I went to some workshops and have worked together to kind of come up with the curriculum for the class, and it worked out that we could roll it out for next school year, so we're really excited about it. The 2D art class it's more rigorous in that you have to produce a large volume of pieces. So in a regular 2D painting or drawing class, we work through projects, and I don't have a set number of things that we have to complete by the end. We just kind of work through the concepts and, hit the standards, but we don't have to have like 24 pieces or anything like that. But for AP, you do have to have 24 pieces of art, and 12 of them have to be related with a theme. So there is going to be a lot more work involved in creating that kind of unified body of artwork, versus just doing separate projects along the way and kind of getting as far as you can in regular classes.
What it's doing is it's making me think about what do I want to say as an artist. Yes, we do that at the lower level, but this is taking it to the next level, trying to communicate it with an audience that you never get to know.
I would say go ahead and give art a try in general. If you're not sure if you like it, there's no better way to find out than to take a class, work with one of the teachers here. We have 4 art teachers that are really passionate about art and can really help you.
You get to express yourself, have autonomy, do what you want to do, make it good, learn skills, problem solve, communicate, collaborate with everybody to make your stuff good.
Ms. Pope and Ms. Litzy are sure to do a great job leading these classes next year. Warrior TV goes to see some prospective students and why they're joining the class.
Alright, so I took the AP art class because I want to pursue art in college and get a degree in animation. So I wanted to strengthen my skills in art. So.
I'm taking the AP art because I want to go into digital design, and art's like a creative outlet for all of my inspirations and stuff that I just can't put into words, so I draw it instead.
I just thought it would be a good way to further my experience and my skills as an artist, as opposed to just classes at the regular level. I think art is a good way to express how you feel or ideas that you feel strongly about, and have a creative kind of constructive way to do that. Well, in a lot of art classes, there's kind of people there just like taking it as like an A or just as a class to get out of the way. But in art, like in AP art, it'll be more focused on like creating good art and focusing on elements of like design and stuff. And like it'll have just more practical use. I think having because a lot of what it'll be is like open studio to create things and develop ideas, and that'll prepare me more for like more vigorous like art courses. I think art classes are like, even if you don't think you're good at art or it's not your interest, I think they're incredibly worth it. Just like having that time to express yourself and make things.
AP Art is sure to make a splash next year. Make sure to go to guidelines to set it up for your schedule. From outside Miss Litzy's room, I'm Ryan, here with Sam, Warrior TV News.
Well, our art class is wonderful.
Attention seniors, the following forms are due Friday. Riley Dance Marathon forms, Student Council forms. Also, Summer of School forms are due May 11th, so get them in soon.
Peter started an initiative for Relay for Life this year. Warrior TV's Cameron and Eddie go to see what it's all about this year.
Peer Helpers is a program near and dear to the hearts of many here at Whiteland Community High School. Warrior TV heads to those involved in Peer in the upcoming Relay for Life event to get further insight on this great program.
Peer Helper started at Whiteland High School as a memory of my mother, and it started because my mother had passed away, and my sister was asked to be in a group similar to Peer in her high school, and it was just so beneficial to her because it helped with her self-esteem. It helped with working with younger children and so on. So I thought, I'm going to bring it here to our school.
Yeah.
And so it started just basically as I thought it was a need for us to get out into the community. Relay for Life is one of our spring projects that the class has decided as one of their I think it's one of 4 projects that they're working on. As we've been talking about this, Molly wanted to do something for the community in memory of her mother who was affected by cancer, and so that's how we got involved in that. And so that's kind of her project, but yet it's using all of our resources and all of the kids to help with that.
After speaking with Mrs. Canary, Warrior TV goes to students in Molly Roller to see what this event is all about.
I lost my mom to cancer in July of 2015, so it's kind of given me a way to fight back and kind of finish her fight since she couldn't.
Relay for Life is kind of like a fundraiser thing. People can walk around a track, and we have tents set up everywhere, and you can buy things at each tent, and it's all just to raise money for cancer. And I started this because I lost my grandpa to cancer at the beginning of this year, and so it made me want to get involved more and help raise money to find a cure for cancer.
I'm on the event leadership team for Greenwood, so I plan the whole event, but we also have a peer helpers team for Whiteland.
And Peer, we can think of any project we want. If we're passionate about something, then we can start a whole project over it, and we can really just do what we want to help the community, and it's a really fun thing to do.
We have a glow run that we're trying to organize, and it's going to be really cool if people sign up. And it's at night, and there's glow sticks, and it'll be really fun.
Be sure to come out and support the cause at Center Grove Middle School North, Saturday, May 20th at 11 a.m. From outside Mrs. Canary's room, I'm Cameron, here with Edwin for Warrior TV News.
The student teaching program here at Whiteland has been here for a while, but not many people know about the details. Allie and Brooke dive in deeper to teach us some more about this program.
Yeah.
New faces walk into WCHS every year. Mr. Lumpy is a student teacher for Mrs. Muller's U.S. History and Econ classes. Warrior TV goes to teachers, students, and Mr. Lumpy himself to find out how he has influenced WCHS.
Mr. Lumpy, he's actually been in our department since the fall. He's going to be Mr. Rector's student teacher, but then Mr. Rector went on his deployment, and so he switched over to being Mrs. Muller's student teacher. And so since he's right across the hall from me, I get to talk to him a lot, and I get to hear his teaching and see how he interacts with the kids.
He interacts with the students very well, especially one-on-one. He knows a lot about individual students. Sometimes that kind of impresses me for a student teacher that he knows so much about what's going on with each individual kid. Every morning he's greeting kids, talking about what they did over the weekend, etc. And then kids who stay after school or in fourth period, he's talking to them a little bit about what's going on in their own activities as well.
Mr. Lumpy has been a great teacher. He's easy to understand, he gets the material across very well, and he's always willing to help us.
He does a really good job of relating to kids. He has easy conversations with them. He's able to relate to them on a more personal level, which I think that the kids are responding pretty well to him as a teacher.
He's impacted my learning by teaching me things I will use later on in life, and I have a high A in this class, therefore he's teaching me what I need to know.
I think sometimes just even like his big perspective of like what really matters, what doesn't matter, he's a little bit more laid back than I am. So I think that's kind of something I'll take away. He also has done some cool things with a couple different internet sites, some activities that I can take away and use in my own classroom. Just kind of, I think, a fresh look at some teaching ideas.
He's going to be a great teacher. He's going to be a great coach. He's a good communicator, and so because of that, he's going to be successful.
I hope for Mr. Lumpy as an educator that he gets to become the high school teacher that he wants, because he's already a great teacher even though he just started.
I hope that he impacts a lot of kids through both his teaching and his coaching, and I hope that he enjoys every minute of it.
After speaking with teachers and students about Mr. Lumpy, Warrior TV heads over to Mr. Lumpy himself to find out just how WCHS is influencing him.
I started in the fall, student teaching here. I was with Mr. Rector, and now I'm with Mrs. Muller. This definitely influenced me to reassure that I wanted to be a teacher. I've had a lot of awesome classes and great experiences. We've had a lot of fun this semester. My classes are great. I have 3 econ classes and 3 U.S. history classes. The students at Whiteland, they've been a blast to work with. It's fun to come in each day, get to know them. So impacting my life, I'm just definitely reassured that teaching is what I want to do. I knew in high school that I wanted to be a teacher and a coach. Just something I really enjoyed doing and wanted to be able to make an impact.
Mr. Lumpy is sure to be an outstanding future educator. We wish him luck as his journey begins. From inside Mrs. Muller's room, I'm Brooke here with Allie, Warrior TV News.
Take care, right?
I applied to college really early, which helped. So I applied in like August. I already had some essays written so I could start doing my scholarship applications, and it's been coming back. So far I've gotten money from Purdue, and I'm like a finalist for different scholarships. It helps if you try to look up a bunch of different types of scholarships. Most of them ask the same question. So if you write an essay once for a generalization of the question, and then you look at different scholarship applications and you realize they want more of this or more of this, you can just throw it in there instead of starting over, which is how it helped me to do tons of applications instead of just one. You're in the spring of your junior year, which means you need to start thinking about colleges and scholarships and how you're going to pay for everything, which also means you have to start thinking about standardized testing. So if you could, over the summer, take your SAT once, see what you get, and those scores help a lot in scholarships in getting them, so you need to make sure you take the test enough times and get a high enough score to help you get good scholarships. Juniors, good luck on getting scholarships. It's going to be fine.
WCHS is beginning to start a new recycling initiative for Warriors. Warrior TV's Jeff and Chris decided to reduce, reuse, and record what is going on in this program.
WCHS has always been good about doing its best to keep the school environmentally friendly. Warrior TV goes to those involved with the new plastic bottle recycling bins to see how and why this new change came to be.
I have been talking to Eric Robinson, who is very passionate about sustainability and helping our environment, and so we really want our students to be involved and not throw plastics in the trash. We can save a lot, like thousands of bottles every day, by throwing those plastics in the recycling instead of throwing them in the trash. From his initiative that he started 2 years ago with like an environmental club, he just talked to me earlier in the year about it, and then Mr. B sent out an email just saying who would like to take this on, and I said I don't want all of it, but I can totally help. Really, it's a student-born initiative, and Eric has done a good job, and Michaela Gaviola as well helped us get bigger bins that you see near the cafeteria, the ones that look like bottles. We're just asking all students to take their bottles that they're drinking out of, their water bottles, and just throw them in the recycling versus the trash. Right now we've got lots of teachers who have tried to get boxes in their rooms. We've got lots of boxes in the classrooms and then also in the cafeteria. So hopefully we get as many more teachers as possible to put those boxes in their room, and then we have students every day going by and collecting those, and then we just want to keep growing that next year as well.
After speaking with Mrs. Aragon about the startup of this recycling initiative, Warrior TV goes to the students involved to see their perspective on running this program.
I'm in the Principal's Advisory Committee with Mr. Zobel, and one meeting he asked us what problems we saw in the school, and ever since freshman year it's always bothered me that we didn't have plastic bottle recycling bins, even though all the drinks we sell at lunch are like bottled in plastic.
When I was in 8th grade, I got a grant from the Johnson County Community Foundation to start a sustainability project in my school. For the end of my junior year and then my senior year, I'm wanting to do something with that grant money. A lot of public schools already do plastic recycling, so I knew that was a big first step I wanted to take.
We need everyone to know that these plastic recycling bins are inside the classrooms and that they should use them, because the first round of like recycling pickup that we did, like people were still throwing the bottles in the trash can even though the box was like right next to the trash can. If students as well as teachers are aware that these recycling bins are inside the school and they are being used, that's what's going to help move the initiative forward.
The new WCHS bottle recycling program is just what the school needed to take a step in the eco-friendly path. Be sure to recycle all plastic bottles in the bins located throughout the school. From outside WCHS, I'm Christopher, here with Jeffrey, Warrior TV News.
AP exams are coming up, students. Hunter Schaefer, Kylie Bay, and Avery Myers go in to learn more.
That's what's on your sticker. So put your AP number there, that's what's on your sticker.
With AP exams starting in less than a week, students and staff are preparing for one of the most important and rigorous days of the school year. Warrior TV goes to those involved to see how they are handling the testing and to see if we could get any inside tips on how to succeed.
I can't remember when I started. This is my 28th year at Whiteland. I think I started with the AP program probably when I started in the guidance office right around 2000, 2001. Our teachers do a good job of giving a lot of practice tests, and then we also did a full mock exam session the end of February.
The group of students I have this year is really impressive. I think they're going to do really well.
We're right now probably somewhere around 500 to 600 students taking AP exams. Last year we were a little bit over the state average as far as passing scores. A little bit over 50% of all of our students get a passing score, which is great because it means that they're going to be getting college credits.
Pass or fail, taking an AP test is a hugely beneficial experience. It's very much like a big exam that you would take for college.
I just, first of all, I think our students do a great job approaching AP exams. They take it very seriously, and I appreciate that. And my advice to them is just go in with a positive attitude, do the best you can.
If you put your all into it, it can be a really, really great learning experience.
After speaking to some of the staff and guidance, Warrior TV News visited some of the students to see how are they preparing for the upcoming AP exams.
So what I've been doing is really going over a lot of the review material that we've been doing through the year. I got a couple of those AP books from Princeton Review, and I've been going through those. I got one for US History and Mechanics, and those are really helpful. And then obviously just going online, doing Khan Academy stuff, and studying up with friends just to get ahead in the game.
Your teachers help you finish the coursework early so that you have a lot of time to study in the last couple of months.
Personally, even though it's really hard, I still just try to look over the questions, try to self-teach myself a little bit if I don't understand necessarily in class.
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, I passed all of them I've taken before, so I like the credits, but I don't think I'm going to fail any of them.
Obviously, there's college credit involved if you score high enough, but in general, they're just classes that push you harder in those subjects.
All the reviewing we've been doing since then has only been able to help me more. And I'm just really psyched to take them because I know that we're going to get those scores back and I'm going to be really happy about it.
I think it's a great way to prepare you for college because it's going to be so different compared to high school, and it's like a good discipline to show you what you need to do, good strategies, how you're going to do the classes right. You want to get the best grades you can, you want to do the best you can, so it's really good for preparing you.
Definitely just be confident. A ton of people go in there and they freak themselves out and then they fail because you think of it as this huge test, but in reality, you've taken that class in preparation of the test. That's the only reason the class exists, is to prepare you for the exam. So you should be ready. Stay confident.
Good luck to all the AP students taking the test in May. Make sure to get tons of rest. From outside the guidance office, I'm Kylie here with Avery and Hunter, Warrior TV News.
Even if you take 3 different AP tests, and then every test, this answer sheet and student pack will be waiting for you.
Remember, Warriors, Tribe Night is May 3rd. Wear your Tribe shirt and get in for free. Tailgating starts at 4:15 p.m. Contact Spencer Hubler for more tailgating details.
Good morning. As time goes on, teachers constantly have to adjust the classroom atmosphere to benefit their students the best they can. Warrior TV meets with Mrs. Baker and her students to gain insight on how she is implementing a new teaching strategy.
I heard about this strategy from Mrs. Holder, that it was something that she did with her 10th grade honors students, and so I decided to try it at the 9th grade level. For this unit, what we do is we have one-on-one conferences. Rather than having large group discussion each day, there's a schedule that students have of what chapters to read and when their conferences will be and when their quizzes will be. And then 3 or 4 students a day come up and sit with me, and they share their thoughts on the reading, they share their annotations, and they share what insights they're having throughout the chapters. At the freshman level, we do focus on just character development and journeys that people go through in life. And I think that Mark Twain's use of realism helps students connect to Huck Finn's journey. Even though it is an older work, they see an adolescent going through difficult times and growing from it, and I think that it works better with Huck Finn than maybe some other readings. Since they are freshmen, they do kind of struggle at the beginning on regulating themselves and sticking to the schedule because it's less of the teacher guiding them and telling them each day to make sure they're reading. They have to make that decision on their own. I think that this style would work for any teacher who would be willing to do the front-loading work of mapping out the schedule and where students would have to be when. I think that even outside of a literature-based class, it's easy to set students up to work independently and hone those skills of independence that will help them after high school and into college.
After getting a teacher's perspective on this new initiative, Warrior TV meets with Mrs. Baker's students to further understand their outlook on the matter.
This teaching style allows you to not have that awkward situation of having to raise your hand over a question. You actually get to work with your teacher and actually get to talk about those subjects that you think are confusing or don't understand.
With my other English classes prior to this one, I feel like it helps me more involved in the class more than just not really because it helps us all be involved and all speak out, whereas some students don't like to always talk in class, and it really helps with that.
I think it's just really helping me be more open and actually understanding what I'm reading and just really kind of figuring out what's in the text and really identifying those keywords. I really like it. It helps me with the hands-on work, and it really helps me understand each chapter individually, and it just really works for me.
I feel like if some of my other teachers used this method, it would help other students become more involved with the class altogether.
In a usual classroom, you kind of just sit there and kind of are bored 99% of the time, and you're kind of just trying to stay awake and listen to what the teacher's saying. But in this concept, you're actually one-on-one, and it gives you that chance to prepare, and it teaches students that they just have to prepare and come ready for once.
This new teaching initiative is proving to be a great success in Mrs. Baker's classroom. It is our job as students to be open to changes in the educational process. Be sure to be on the lookout for this teaching strategy in other classrooms throughout the building. From inside Mrs. Baker's classroom, I'm Meredith, here with Haley and Hunter, Warrior TV News.
That's all we have for you on this one-day broadcast edition of Warrior TV News. Until next time,
have a good one.